If the only advice you get from this podcast is to just document your day in the life, if you are truly a full-time real estate agent, you will build a personal brand. It's going to show how you handle contracts, how you handle inspections, how you handle negotiating, how you handled the roller coaster that the deal is, how you handled staging, how you handled advertising.
The reason why they don't want to do that is because they think social media is just the best. It's just the top. It's just the success stories. It's just the X, Y, and Z. It's not. Welcome back to the Reganar Report. We have yet another special guest. Today, we're going to be talking all about social media, marketing, video, and everything in between with Nicole Black, the hype lady.
Yay, so happy to be here.
Welcome to the podcast.
Awesome. Let's get into it.
You know what's cool is we got two hosts on here this time. I'm the hostess today.
No,
okay,
I'm
Nicole?
host.
All right. But she has her own podcast. Shout out to her. And creating a podcast is not easy. It's very difficult, and it's challenging. It has tons of problems, which we'll probably talk about podcasts later. But shout out to you. And I'm really excited about this podcast because we can talk more about how critical video is for entrepreneurs and people trying to grow their brand.
Critical.
All right.
Non-negotiable.
Nicole, I've known of you. I got introduced to you a long time ago through real estate. You've been in the realm. You're a realtor, but you found your passion in marketing, right? So let's talk a little bit about that journey and how you got to this, the place you are today.
Well, I'll do that in like 30 seconds. So
Perfect.
Here we go.
That's all you got.
Excellent. I launched a marketing company in 2016 called The Hype Lady before personal brands were really a thing.
Yeah.
I didn't even really realize at the time what I was doing. I just knew that I had been an agent, had one kid at the time, and I wanted to be a little bit more flexible. So I knocked out social media management. I knew that was my claim to fame in marketing and real estate because I ended up being leadership on a lot of teams. I joined brokerages. I built other brands, and I was it was my thing just from the joint. So you know what you're naturally good at and what you're not naturally good at, and I just gravitated to that easily.
Right.
So even when I jumped back into leadership later on, like 2019 or 2020, the hype lady still stayed coined with me. It wasn't about the business anymore. It was about myself and the energy I brought to the room and what my knowledge brought to everybody I was talking to. So that the epitome of personal branding started to create kind of on its own. It was natural.
Right.
I fast forward to leading some of the biggest teams here in Southwest Florida. Got a spot on the first Real Producers Zoom during COVID.
Gosh, that was so long ago.
How
so
fun
awesome.
is that? I love being the social media guru. That I think it's really more about personal branding than social media. Up to today, I own two businesses, Luxury List Media Group, which is a preferred partner of Real Producers. We're very proud
Shout
about
out.
that. Yes. We needed a sound effect for that one.
Yeah.
Plug that one in. Plug that one in, exactly.
Right.
And most recently launching Hype Method Media to help agents and business owners bring the hype for their brand online and build that personal brand or business brand online without them having to put all of the energy in. Because as you know, and just mentioned, it is more than a full-time job. So if you don't want to tackle being the professional, let the professionals do it.
Amen to that. And I just want to piggyback on that. I don't know a single person that really can handle it themselves. Like if you're running a full-blown business, you need to outsource it. The first person I hired when I was growing my business was someone to handle all my social media.
Exactly.
Now, people are like, well, was it needed? Maybe not needed, but I will tell you this.
Leveraged.
Oh my gosh. And you don't see it instantaneous. It's like planting some seeds and watching it grow. You're only going to get the fruit and the vegetables and the things, you're going to yield from the crop later.
Mm-hmm. That's the last thing to come on a tree.
It is
the
right?
fruit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But guess what? It's a lot of fruit once it does get to that level, right?
Yep.
Now, it's the same as like what is it? Agave, right? The tequila takes 7 years and then you finally get it. Sometimes it takes a long time. But I will say it's a lot of work leading up to it. So figure out a way to kind of outsource it. So, well, like you said, you're an amazing partner of Real Producers. You're doing a lot of things for amazing realtors and locally. You're helping businesses. We collaborate on a lot of different things. So I'm excited about this podcast. And let's dive right in. You mentioned it, but I want to highlight personal brand.
My
You were
favorite.
able to take your personal brand and you were able to apply it to different businesses.
Yeah.
Okay. So whenever you think about yourself, or if you're an entrepreneur and you're growing a brand, that's fine. But remember, a lot of times the brand stays with that business. Your personal brand is transferred. So all that money, time, effort that you put into, you'll be able to bring it with you. So you did it before, right?
Multiple
It was
times.
before it was a huge thing. And now you help other people do it, right? Describe what is a personal brand.
So I slightly mentioned it, but how you led into that, I'll start there first. If you, specifically for agents, as I think that's the most the demographic here for this podcast. If you're you're a Compass agent, you're an agency agent, you're a John R. Wood agent, and you put all of your eggs in the brokerage branding. Everything looks like theirs. Everything speaks like them. The videos look like them. You're leveraging their content. You're not leveraging your authenticness of who you are and what you bring to the table and the value proposition and the solutions you bring to your clients. So they're seeing their brand. When you leave that brokerage, you have to start fresh and start over. But a personal brand is who you are. It's how your customers feel when they work with you. It doesn't have really anything to do with the brokerage necessarily. That logo could swap out, and if you're doing it right, nobody would really know where you went. They would just know that, oh, maybe she got more tools, or maybe he has more leverage on a team. Who knows? But I know that when I get to work with this person, Jane Doe, I think, or Anastasia, something more exciting, I don't know. When I get to work with Anastasia, I have the same experience. I know that she's going to deliver the same results that I was expecting. I know that she goes above and beyond. She knows my family. She knows what I'm looking for. Or for an investor, she knows the bottom line, how to show me the ROI or calculate this deal. It's how your customers and clients feel the experience of working with you. It's your sales process. So in order to build a personal brand, you need to show what your personal self is about.
So it's not all just work.
No, it's about who you are.
What ratio do you think it is?
I think everybody's a little bit different, but I'd say it's about like 80-20, maybe
Okay.
70-30, depending on...
So more work focused, but you got to throw in the 20 to 30%.
Be leveraged on certain platforms more about work than personal, and more personal than work on others. There's a whole strategy behind that. But more specifically, when we're talking about my brand has lived through multiple business affiliations. So in the beginning of my career, I was hired to be able to build brands. And this is kind of where I got my feet wet. And the rest of it, I leveraged partnership to build that brand. Yet Hype Lady never changed. You still know me as the Hype Lady. People know me around town as the Hype Lady. That has nothing to do with what I do for work.
Right.
That has everything to do with when you engage with me, you know I'm going to be energetic. I'm going to support you in whatever that you're doing. I'm going to be your biggest cheerleader, and I'm going to give value before I ask for anything in return.
Yeah. So I love my brokers and brokerages as a ton. But
They
here's
need to build personal brands too.
They
though.
do too. But here's the deal: for all you real estate professionals out there, you guys have probably already transferred brokerages like 3 different times, and your clients are still with you. Okay, so I'm sorry, but real estate is the personal brand, like pioneer in the sense, right? Like. It's going to take a while for doctors to be, get into that realm because
They're popping in,
but they're popping,
yeah.
right? And different things like corporate and stuff, it's slowly pushing that way, right? But real estate professionals, like realtors, are the first one and the biggest one of a personal brand, okay? And it goes back to show, like, how many times does someone say, oh, that realtor's not taking it serious and, making it really their business? Because even the agents don't even look at themselves as a business. They look at themselves as
Biggest
a person,
problem.
right? And so it kind of is a double-edged sword. Like, first of all, you got to treat yourself like a business, but also, too, you got to treat yourself like a personal brand. So that's huge. But it's tough because some people don't want to post, personal stuff and whatnot. But here's the deal. I've heard it before. Obviously we work with a lot of realtors and we do a lot of videos. One of the realtors specifically said, "Hey, I posted about doing. It was passionate. It was passionate for me. It means something for her." And she's like, "I was part of my church, and we were doing something like a drive on a Saturday." And so she's like, "I wasn't going to do it, but I decided to just throw it up there, just like, hey, this is what we're doing. If you guys, at all interested, let me know." And it was a 15-second video, whatever it was. And she said, a client reached out to her and was like, hey, I follow a lot of realtors, and I just like that you're, authentic on your platform. I'm selling my house. Can you list my $1.3 million house?
Boom.
15-second video, 1.3 million. Cool.
That was nurtured through multiple pieces of content to engage with that one.
And did she talk about real estate?
Nope.
Nope.
It was about her personal affiliation with something she was passionate about.
Right. So when you are coming up with ideas, stop thinking, oh my gosh, I have to be a salesperson.
Right.
Think about who you are, right?
The solution, too, I just had this conversation with another agent, which was to be creative with content. Everybody posts their just listed and just sold.
Oh my.
If I have to see one more just listed and just sold or
Amen.
pending, I'm going to wig.
First of all,
Nobody
stop
cares.
with the pendings. Like, it hasn't sold yet. Like,
Exactly.
stop. Oh, that drives me insane.
But the breakaway from that is like, well, yes, you want to add that into your content, and I realize why people want to do it. I totally get it. But if your strategy is to bank all of these just listed and just solds to check the box of marketing, that's not a personal brand. One. And two, what solution did you show your potential customers through that content? Nothing. Instead, show us the process from contract to close,
Yep.
what you do to show me your value. What is your value in the real estate industry? The just listed and just sold isn't showing me anything. It's showing me that you're doing things. But it's in between that
you got to the
that's
finish line. But how many things were before that finish line?
If agents are
Yes.
struggling right now, especially as this commission thing winds
Wait,
out.
there's something going on?
Oh, yeah. Okay. We're not supposed to talk about that while we're doing it. So as that comes down the line, the biggest takeaway is you don't know how to define your value proposition.
Nope.
And the easiest way to define a value proposition is to document.
Show it.
If you document your day, if the only advice you get from this podcast is to just document your day in the life, if you are truly a full-time real estate agent, you will build a personal brand. It's going to show how you handle contracts, how you handle inspections, how you handle negotiating, how you handled the roller coaster that the deal is, how you handled staging, how you handled advertising. Not just put on the MLS and roll.
But here's the deal. The reason why they don't want to do that is because they think social media is just the best. It's just the top. It's just the success stories. It's just the X, Y, and Z. It's not. It's not, you guys. So like,
It's meant to be
don't
social.
don't post just the perfect pictures of you. Don't post just the clothes. Talk about, yep, I lost a listing today. Why? Because this. Or you know what? You know what a lot of top agents do? They fire clients. And they're like, but I wouldn't talk about that
That's a
online.
beautiful
Why
thing.
not? You got to set the precedence right away. Like, hey, I'm here to sell a property for you and to be your advocate and like represent you. But if you're not willing to, be realistic on a price or something, then I can't sell your property. Like, you just can't come up with random buyers that are going to pay, $300,000 over,
Those days
value,
are dead.
right?
They died.
So talk about how you said, hey, I dropped this listing today. It was just an unrealistic seller, and you can be very nice about it. You can be like, I really love them. They're actually a family friend, different things like that. But it comes down to business. What? People are mind blown when you say that.
I
They're
just
like,
posted something with a broken blood vessel in my eyeball wearing blue and white.
Pink.
Yeah, I only wear pink, black, and white just for everybody listening that doesn't know, the hype lady, okay?
And I only wear blue and black. No, just kidding.
I just posted something that wasn't my perfect brand look, but people just want to hear from you. And when you're quiet, you know that you're building a personal brand. When you're quiet and people reach out to say, hey, I haven't seen your content in a while. Like,
okay?
what's happening? You know, you're like, wow. Or when you're walking around and you meet somebody that only knows you from social, but already feels like they know who you are and want to be your friend.
Mic drop that, because that is huge and why you should do social media. If you get nothing from this podcast, you've already said this, so now you got to get my point.
Nothing from this
right?
podcast.
But here's the deal. Why do you do social media? Why do you have an online presence? Is so you can break down the barriers for entry prior to meeting the person.
Yes.
If I can break
The
down
top of funnel.
5 to 6 barriers before I meet a potential client, I've now gained way more trust, right? I've gained a lot more reputation with that person through social media. I've probably answered a lot of questions that would, let's say, filter out non-clients, right? So it doesn't matter your industry, right? If you're selling something, there's a select group that are buying or using you or whatever,
It's the
right?
same. It doesn't matter
So
what
filter
industry.
them
It's all
out
the same.
and get them just down to the narrow, right? By doing that, you can be online. You can do that online, different things like that. So, anyways,
It goes back to people's sales process and their funnel. So when you're thinking about a personal brand, you need to understand your sales process and your brand's sales funnel. How are you meeting people? First point of contact, right? Once you've met them, whether it was digital or in person, how are they getting more information from you? And you can then build your database with an email.
click funnel.
Yeah, right. Yeah, multiple ways. Then once you've got them in your database, how are you nurturing them into more conversations? That could be done through more podcasting, through more social content. When they're ready to buy, they've already been reaffirmed your value. When I go into a conversation about either you want to work with us to market your listings or your properties or your brand, whether you're leveraging Luxury List Media Group or Hype Method, doesn't matter. I know what I'm talking about. You've heard me speak. You've seen me on social. You've met me at a networking event. Social isn't the replacement for all of your marketing.
It's not.
Social is a part of the strategy. And if you don't have one and you don't know who you're talking to, you're going to be talking in a megaphone to no one. So strategy, social, they go together, and you need to understand both of those to build a personal brand. It's like an equation.
Have you had people call you that you have not pitched to, that you have not even really talked to? You know of them, they know of you, right? They've been following you, and they're like, hey, I'm ready to do this. Like, I'm ready to sign up, pretty much, right? Pretty much be a client. You've had that.
All week long, that's all I had from one little reel I posted, because I've been consistent with my messaging.
So I want to diagnose that, because it's happened to us. It happens to me with real producers. And I talked to other real producers, like, wait, you didn't even do a pitch? You didn't do anything? I'm like, no, I did the pitches online. They're like, what do you mean? I'm like, because I'm posting, like, using like online to pretty much answer all the no's, or again, filter down to see who the client is, right? And they're doing it themselves in their mind, right? And so I had one, and it was a text, and it was someone saying to the other person, which is another business partner, hey, we're ready to go for advertising. I never told them. I didn't even know they had a new business. They've been following us. They've been watching what we do. They know who my target audience is. They know what value Real Producers does. Boom, 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 boom. Right? They want to be at the events, all that stuff. So it knocked everything out. And that's because we're posting all the time. And so if you are a realtor, right?
Okay.
Guess what? You got to be top of mind, because there is 10,000 of you.
There's a lot of them. They're
There's
everywhere.
a million of them, I feel like, in Southwest Florida.
Everywhere.
But like, seriously, like, you gotta be out there, be top of mind, but not saying, I'll sell your property.
No.
Like, use me. No, do something. Post your fishing, post you're out on the boat.
Your
post
family stuff,
You're
yes.
doing open house. Show like how cool that secret room in the house was. You don't have to do everything crazy.
Or like everybody else is doing it.
No,
Because following the
come on.
masses. I think the other angle to creating all this content that we're saying without saying it, leveraging video marketing is prospecting for your business on autopilot.
Amen.
So if you are running out of time, if you're a busy agent and you don't have the time to be at every networking event or to follow up with everybody, and you've built a team, or you're not that busy, but you need to be planting seeds elsewhere, leveraging video marketing, whether it's in social or advertising, is so critical. It's basically putting little lead magnets that are working 24/7 for you all over the place while you're off. Who knows what you're doing? That happens to me all the time. People have watched my content or they engage with me in some way online. Then there's nurture processes to get them right into a discovery call, to
And
have
guess
a
what?
conversation, to pitch them. They're already ready to go. Leverage.
And Instagram Reels, usually people don't see it right away.
Nope. Oh, people will comment on my reels from forever ago, and I'm like, dang, they just went through a deep dive.
But they didn't sometimes. Like, Reels and Instagram will populate later. It's not always instantaneous.
Oh, everybody's so worried about how many likes they get the day they post it. If I don't get any likes I posted today. If nobody looks at it today, it's not about today.
It's not.
It's a long game.
People need to understand video is different than photos. Photos on the timeline, after
They
a
have a
couple
life, so they're
days,
gone.
it's gone.
Yeah.
So if you're doing photos, stop, first of all. Okay.
Ugly
like, stop.
graphics.
Right. But if you're doing videos, you need to change your mindset. Okay. Just because you post that reel and you don't get all the views right away, that's okay.
Right.
It might pop up later. Like I've heard tons of people, hey,
Just because they didn't comment on it either.
Right.
They saw it.
Yeah, they saw it.
Oh, I love that thing you did. How come you didn't comment on it or didn't like it? But you watched it.
No one comments.
Nobody
They're too
comments
scared.
or likes, and they don't want to know. I think for my content specifically, they don't want other people to know that they don't know. Right? Like other agents to see that they're struggling with video marketing because maybe they're doing better. The comparison is the thief of joy. That quote should go everywhere. In video marketing,
Amen.
It doesn't matter if you're perfect. It's like riding a bike. The more you do it, the better you're going to get. And the crappier you are actually converts a little bit better because it's authentically where you're at. And your audience will be like, wow, good for her. The balls she has or he has to get on this video and to share his message. And what if he messed up? And did he look bad? Do I have a booger in my nose? Like, what's going on? Nobody cares.
No.
Just get it out there. There's a time for highly produced. There's a time for DIY. There's a time for podcasting. It's all about your brand strategy. And I think the number one thing that I've heard from this last week of talking to agents after posting that one reel I talked about, they have no idea what their brand is about. What makes you different? Who are you talking to? Are you an investor agent? Are you a lifestyle agent? Are you an area expert? What angle do you work with? Because you're trying to talk to too many people, so you don't know how to make content that lands. You're trying to make everybody's content, which goes nowhere.
Yeah.
Who are you talking to? And then where do you need to be talking to those people? Having a strategy before you leverage video marketing that would be my hack to it. You can go about it any other way you want to, but the hype method, which is why I named that business the way that I did, was your strategy, your branding, your media, and your automation. Those are my 4 steps. Follow that and it will work.
Yeah, and you do need to have a plan, and like that's the thing.
Yeah, posting for nothing.
Yeah, you don't go into a transaction with no plan, right? You don't go into
this
negotiation.
Podcast is
right?
planned.
Exactly, everything.
I'll break it down from not knowing it. This podcast is a lead magnet to get more people to know who you are. You're going to share to my network. People that you don't know are going to be seeing this podcast that I'm going to share.
Yep.
Then it's going to get into front of other people that may potentially see your magazine. Hopefully, other partners, because I am a partner, sign up to have a conversation about what being a part of this magazine is all about, or be an agent who wants to be on it, understanding the hype around, wow, I want to be the top 500 and be at these events. Events, the same way. It's like, this isn't just for no reason. This is leveraging everybody's network. So it's actually like social media is collaborative.
And you said it best, leveraging. And one of the things you're leveraging is your own time. All right, I will say this because you commented earlier and I didn't want to interrupt, but holy crap, get out there and make the mistakes. I was actually talking to someone and I was kind of encouraging them. I was helping them make a video for real producers. And it was just a quick, easy one. And they were kind of struggling. And then I was like telling them what to say. And they're like, gosh, you do it so natural. I'm like, it's not
practice.
That. I'm like, first of all, it's a lot of practice. And then I pull up my phone as I was making them, and I had all the ones that I hadn't deleted yet. And it was like scrolling full. And they're like, no way that's you. I'm like, yeah, I screw up a lot too. It's not easy. So again, you're going to see the finished product when you're on social. You're going to see this amazing production. We have dual cameras. We got lights. We got everything, right? That doesn't mean you have to do that. You have to get out and just do it. The last thing I'll say on that, you said it doesn't have to be perfect. Times have changed. 10 years ago, 15 years ago, if you ran an ad or anything online, guess what? It did have to be perfect.
Yeah.
Now it's very organic. It's use an iPhone. It's all that kind of vlog kind of changed that, right?
It's like influencer marketing. People want to buy things from people that they believe in. And what you're doing with your social is creating know me, like me, trust me content that allows them to say, I believe in this person, therefore I want to work with you.
Yeah. So first I'll just get uncomfortable. Get out there, get uncomfortable, record some stuff, see how it goes.
Record.
You know, what's the worst that can happen? You post it and then you don't like it and, you get really better, way good at everything and then you delete it later. Great. But guess what? The chances of you even going back and delete it are not going to exist. Like, who cares? Okay. And if that's your audience, if like you're really worried that much about what they think, then they're not really your audience and they're not your clientele.
No. And
they're not your
it'll be
followers
so
or whatever.
painful for you too. You know what I mean? There's a time and a place for someone to try to DIY video. If you're in the position where that's your feeling, it's time to leverage a coach, leverage somebody to help you because you don't need to do it on your own. There's obviously other options. Like, I'm not doing my taxes. I'm not doing my bookkeeping.
No.
Thanks, Jen.
Thanks, Jen.
Yeah, exactly.
Both of us.
Woo!
Shout out to Jen.
I'm not.
In case you need bookkeeping.
Exactly. She's the best. I'm not taking care of I have a doctor for that. I'm not the professional. So if you're trying to be the professional real estate agent, I wouldn't come in and write your contracts. I'm going to come in and leverage how many years, 10 plus years I have in digital marketing and the strategy behind that I use on other brands to help you with yours. You're not going to catch me. That's just not going to happen. You're 10 years ahead of me in real estate. I'm probably not going to catch up to you if I were to switch industries. So why not leverage people that know what they're doing, that have already done it? So if you do feel that type of fear, that level of like, nope, I'm not ready for it, leverage somebody that is there to make you feel safe, to help you with your strategy and launch that rocket, because everyone can benefit from video marketing and personal branding. Everyone.
How many times have you heard some wealth advisor like Page or something talk about how real estate, rental income happens when you sleep? Or businesses that, happen
Passive
when
income.
you sleep, right? Whatever it might be. Yeah.
Yeah.
In whatever way, right? And obviously, yeah, it's all passive income in some way, but like they're talking about these different vehicles. Well, let's stop and think for a second. Guess what happens when you sleep in regards to marketing? The videos, the different things. So you might be on a sales call, you might be with a client, or you might be sleeping, but all those reels and all that money you poured into marketing, that is going to be working while you're not, okay? So you're gaining that time back. So that's what we're talking about when we say like leverage your time, leverage your ability to be out there face to face with your clients. But the whole time, your team, Nicole, whoever, can be posting and can be procuring the new stuff behind the scenes. But it's not going to happen without you creating some content. So I want to just tell everyone, Nicole she's not a magician, okay? Us, whoever, we don't just create videos with nothing, okay? Like when you say you're going to hire someone to be your social media or marketing, different things, you still got to market. When you talk about personal brand, it's still got to be you. So, we help, right? All right, sit down. What are 10 things to talk about? Boom, 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 boom. Yes, we can be efficient about it, but guess what? You still got to be in front of camera. You're still going to you're the subject matter expert.
Yep.
I can't sit there and talk about your business and talk about you and impersonate you.
Nope.
Right? So you still got to do it. So I hate when people do that. They're like,
I get that a lot.
Oh wait, I thought you were just going to create all my videos. How do you respond to that?
I respond to it in a strategic way. So I'm all about strategy to the point where sometimes that makes me spin. But I have a conversation very early with my clients that goes over who they are, what is their brand build, who are they trying to talk to, what are they planning on, what's their biggest goal with social? And then at that point, we run through who are we talking to? Then I can help them create a narrative. So essentially, I'm taking that heavy lifting off of their back to say, we know what we're talking about. I can write your scripts for you. I can do the copy for you. I can speak as if I'm you because you were able to teach me the top level, right? Because essentially all industries are the same. All marketing is the same. It's a specific type of content that we're sending out there. We need to show the solution. So if you can share with me what your solution is, it's very easy. If you don't know what your solution is, which is what most agents' problem is right now, they know that they can sell a house. But why are you the best to do that? Why would I hire you over the next person? That solution, when you can clarify that message, I can nail your targeting with that. I can nail your copy with that. Oh, you're best because you create a brand commercial every single time you do a listing and you run a specific amount of ads to not only the listing, but also retargeted to your brand. Wow, you're getting more exposure than anybody else who's just putting on that MLS. What if that goes away?
Amen to that. So the MLS could go away. And obviously, you have to continuing. You can't bank on those, but you can bank on a personal brand, and that's what we're talking about.
One little tip on this personal brand, too, that if you actually scroll through a bunch of these big influencers' content, you'll find that a personal brand is a monopoly. By a monopoly, I mean there is no one exactly like you. So while I might have competition, I might know of other marketing companies or other people who are able to leverage media, other videographers, other competitors in the market. There is no one with my experience. There is nobody with the time that I've put into working with other clients or trying things, split A/B testing, trying and failing. I've failed so many times that my failure is now my success, right? That my personal brand can't be taken away from me. Whether I'm working with this brand or this business or whatever, doesn't matter, because my personal brand is me. There is no other hype lead unless I got a twin I don't know about.
Well, and look at two businesses almost identical. And you use probably one and then the other sometimes. Uber, Lyft.
Yeah.
So they came in, they pretty much copied, and they're almost identical. Yes, they're different colors.
I'm
but
going to love Lyft because of the pink.
So, but
branding.
No two people are the same, right? And it goes back to the whole famous line in business: people want to do business with people, right? And so make that the prerogative, like make that why they want to do that. So I've used a million examples. I've even said it on this podcast, you guys. So if you heard it before, I'm going to say it again. Chris Rock, tequila, Gary Vee, and NFTs, the list goes on. They were not even in that realm, that industry, nothing, okay? George Clooney, different people, right? They all took their personal brand and used that to maximize another brand and to endorse it. That's actually what influencers are, right? The world we think of influencer as the blue check mark on Instagram, but
everybody
it really
can have
is
that now.
To take a following of people and steer them to something that benefits you.
Influence them. So you should probably read the Becoming the Highly Influential Person.
Right. So I say all that to say, keep doing your personal brand, keep working on yourself, keep growing
posting.
that. It doesn't happen overnight. And all these people that say, "Oh, I grew 10,000 followers last month or last week or last whatever," like
doesn't mean anything.
It doesn't mean anything, and it's usually pretty unrealistic. Like, yes, you should grow followers and you should be growing your audience, and that's obviously one KPI that you can look at in your business. But
did they convert all those 10,000
exactly, there's
followers?
a lot more to it. I hate when I go to a page and it's like 50,000, but they have like 3 comments on their videos.
Nobody's engaged with their content. They don't care.
They don't care.
You can grow a following with nothing.
Exactly.
And
you could have 1,000 of your ideal clients or 100,000 of no clients, maybe 1 or 2.
Smaller
I'll take
accounts
the 1,000.
actually convert better. I think we should leave with the other little mic drop that personal branding is not a logo.
No.
Everybody in these logos. You got your broker's logo. You got your logo. You got somebody else's logo. Nobody cares about your logo.
You want to know what the best logo is?
No logo.
Your face.
Yeah, that. If
Seriously,
you
put your face
share
there.
your face, like even on your YouTube cover images, don't put the logo, put your face. Who are you and where are they living or where are they moving and what are they going to get by watching this content? So please don't mistake our conversation for a personal brand as a logo. We should make the logo smaller and the story bigger.
Amen to that. Amen to that. All right. Well, we've talked enough on why they should do it. If they are looking to grow their personal brand and social media, SEO, marketing, X, Y, and Z, how do they reach you?
A, B, C, D, E, F, G. They they go to the website. They go to my social, any social accounts, which is another thing. So Luxury List Media Group or Hype Method Media or AKA The Hype Lady. I'm sure we'll have show notes somewhere under this podcast.
Yep.
Any one of those channels or platforms, you can get in touch with me, book a discovery call. I actually audit people on the fly and give them advice, even if they're not going to work with me. So
There you go.
your chance to get 15 to 30 minutes to pick my brain is free $99. You're welcome.
There you go. We'll schedule a call with her. We appreciate you coming on here. Obviously,
Thank
we're
you.
both very passionate about this because we care. It's an industry that we're both involved in, and we love helping and seeing businesses grow, right? Because the more businesses that they can grow, they help us. It's very symbiotic. So we appreciate you coming on here, Nicole, greatly. This obviously is a Reagan Hart Report. Thank you for listening. Sponsored by Visions Media. And if you guys have any other questions, reach out to me or reach out to Nicole, and we'll see you guys in the next episode. Thank you so much.
Bye.